there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, just sitting behind Mother Nature's Market here in Victoria. Today's video is about the G Rule. Now, the G Rule is, so this takes me back to when I was 18 or 19 working for a franchise of Anthony Robbins and Associates. And I remember talking with this fellow who I worked with, who I've completely lost touch with, but we were talking one day about how our frustration with how people who had come through the programs, and coming back a lot, were often giving unsolicited coaching, unsolicited advice, and it was really frustrating for us. And one day, I looked at him and I said, "Are you talking about Greg?" He said, "I am talking about Greg." We realized it was the same fellow who was just always in coach mode with us when we didn't want to be coached. So he and I, my friend and I, made this deal, and we called it the G Rule. And we said, all you have to do is say to the other person, "Hey, G Rule," and we had to drop it immediately. We were in Hawaii at a Tony Robbins seminar, and I remember, I think I was probably the one trying to coach him. And he looked at me and said, "G Rule." I said, but now hold on, he said, "G Rule," and I dropped it. And we had a good laugh about it. So this is important, this G Rule, because, and I think I got this from Charlotte Jacobs, or I can't remember where I got this one. This idea that, when somebody meets you at a party or they're hanging out with you, the experience that they have with just hanging out with you at the party is the experience they imagine that they're going to have if they hire you as a coach. Yeah. So if you're pushy and you're coaching them without any consent, back to the consent question, then it's that's what they think it's going to be like to work with you. If they feel like they have to be on the defense with you, hanging out with you, that's what they think it'll be like as a client, so they don't want to. So even if we're talking selfishly, self-servingly from a marketing standpoint, boy, it is no bueno to be offering unsolicited advice to people. It's much better instead just to say, "Hey, I have a thought on this. I think I might actually be able to help you on this. If you're interested, no pressure, let me know." Because sometimes people, "Oh my God, please, yes, I would love to know." And sometimes, you know what, I don't think I can take in any more info. It's better to ask. Because if you ask and they say no, you've retained the relationship. And they might then come back to you and say, "Boy, I wish I'd gotten that coaching from you first. I wish I'd sought out your advice. I think I really screwed up because I didn't." They'll come back to you. But if you go to them without permission and you say, "Hey, let me coach you," this is likely to burn the goodwill and the trust, and then they don't want to come back to you. Even when we're in a session with people, people have a hard time saying no. That's just good to remember. All of us, even the most empowered of us, have a hard time saying no to people. So good to be checking in all the time, or from time to time. Just, how's this going? How does this, would you be interested in this as a next step? Checking in progressively as we go. Because then people get to say no. And if they do, that's a very powerful experience for people. I don't think we can underestimate or overestimate how powerful that can be for somebody to say no and have that be heard. The reason this is coming up is because in my membership, I was sharing about a goal I have to hit 100 people at the pro level. And somebody sent me this, it was a beautiful intention. It was affirmation of like, "Hey, here's a prayer you can say, let me let go of this goal of 100 people and just trust that the right people will come." And there's a lot of ways I'm aligned with it, and I'm not against it. But boy, I hadn't asked for that coaching from her. And if she'd said, "Hey Tad, I've been noticing this goal, and I have a thought that might actually help you achieve this goal faster, better than you think you could, if you're open to it." I might have said yes, I might have said no. And especially if it was offered lightly, like, "Look, this is just my opinion, no pressure, this is the way I see it." That clutching onto a goal and publicly announcing it hurts your chances of getting, I don't know what her opinion on it was. And so therefore this, just maybe give this a try for a week, see how it feels. Again, hey, no pressure, If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I just thought I'd share that. Something like that, a very unattached offering, a sharing, as instead of an unrequested imposition, an unrequested, not infiltration, but it's a kind of insertion. And so, anyways, the permission piece is really big in marketing and very powerful, because eventually you do build up enough of a reputation. Long term, they would say, hey, would you be interested in some thoughts? Oh my God, from you? Absolutely. And in the beginning, don't be surprised. People don't want to hear your opinion right away. So there you go, the G rule. Just consider that. Tell your friends. Get excited. Let them know, hey, I got a new rule for you in particular. But if you have friends where there's that dynamic, you realize you're kind of coaching each other too much and not just enjoying each other's company and loving each other. It can be nice to have a little code you can give each other. And by the way, you could even tell your clients that. You can say, look, if I'm coaching you in a way that you don't like, just let me know. Here's the safe word you can use. And to check in with them, how is this feeling? How am I doing at explaining this? How's this going so far? It's really good to check in and ask. I had a friend of mine, Johnny Voss, a massage therapist from Toronto, and I got some massage, and he said, look, here's my rule. If anything hurts, feels uncomfortable or weird, you just have to let me know, okay? And he checked in throughout, like, how's it going? How does this feel? And it was so great. It felt so good, to have somebody really want to know, to actually want to know. And so it's just helpful for us to check in with people. How's this feeling? Like, am I coaching you too much right now? Is this helpful for you at all? When boy, this is something I know I can work on, but because sometimes I'll get very excited, I'll go down a rabbit hole of ideas, and the person will say, actually, that wasn't my question, right? So I'm trying to get better, just pausing earlier on and saying, how is this landing for you? Is this answering your question at all? Is this useful? Because sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. And if it isn't, I have a chance to redirect, which means I'll be useful, which also selfishly for me means they're going to get better results. And they're going to be more thrilled and tell everyone about it. Rather than, I did a coaching session with Tab, but he just talked the whole time about the ideas. He was excited. He completely missed the boat. So that's what the G rule is designed to help you with. Stop you from missing the mark, which it's really easy to do. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to this channel, and everyone who's been liking the videos lately. Thank you so much for doing that. It does make a difference in getting more people to see them. And so that's all for now. Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.